have a mentor during your whether during your cosmetology school or getting into your own practice of being a curly hair specialist?
I do have people I can talk to that mentor me and also help me unplug. So Aisha and Elise are the creators of I Am Black or Curls. And that's how I found out about the science of hair care. So they have a pro side where they teach stylists about curly hair. So they're basically my mentors from afar. I've never met them in person. I met them on the internet. And I've taken their digital education. So when I was in school, I started at a salon here where I live. And that helped me get familiar with like salon just like the salon, right? Because I haven't been in a salon since I was I don't go to the salon like that. Like I was just doing my own hair. But it was good to be in the atmosphere to get the feel for it, get the flow, to see how things, happen and stuff. And Black salon culture is not like other culture. Well, to me, because I'm Black, I can't speak for other. You know what I'm saying? But like it's different because you know how it is when we get with each other's camaraderie, it's sisterhood, it's like laughing and
yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it was nice to see how it was. And then the person she was the salon owner. So, we talked about a lot of things, and we talked about school, and like she taught me a lot of things. We have a very robust community of stylists. So I talked to them, I talked to other stylists that I have come in contact with. I have a girlfriend who she just graduated cosmetology school, just became licensed. So we talk a lot. Like I have people who I could talk to, and it feels good because they understand. Like, I don't want to talk about hair all day, girl. Let's talk about something else. What your week was going on? Like,
there are so many different people that come into this field and want to do hair. Do you see any other curly hairstylists who are Black or like a woman of color coming up? Do you see that community?
I think it's always been there, but I feel like people are starting to hear about it, right? So, like, I don't know how familiar you are on Twitter. Like last year was like the year of like skin, and I feel like this year is gonna be like the year of hair, because a lot of people are learning that there are people outside of like a diva stylist, because so there's certain companies that have like listings of stylists. So like Diva has a listing, Rizzo Cut has a listing, and some other things have listings. And it's in those, to me, typically aren't focused on tight curls, right? So it's nice that people are learning that there are stylists who dedicate their work to tight curls. They want to work with the quote unquote 4Cs and type 4s and type 3Cs and 3Bs and things of that nature, right? So it's always been there. I just think people didn't know. And the natural community, I heard one of my mentors say this, the natural community kind of grew up without the stylists. And now the stylists are like, wait, all that stuff you've been learning is not true. And blah, blah, blah. So yeah, like I said, I feel like it's been here, but I feel like people just didn't know where to look, because I hear it all the time, like, oh my God, I'm so happy I finally found somebody that really can work with my curl, da, da, da. And people, Black women, like to see other Black women. So that's a big thing too.
I know on YouTube there are a lot of like, it's a whole mix of people who have curly hair, and it's not just women, there are men as well that have curly hair too. Yes. And to see someone like you, that familiarity, I guess, makes it a little bit more homey, and it's like, okay, now I trust them because they look like me, their hair is a little closer to mine than like the wavy ones that they put on all types of ads. Like, my hair does not look like that. I need help with like my tighter curls. So you are 110% correct when it comes to seeing Black women want to see more Black women in these positions to help them along. Going to the entertainment industry is a whole thing where Black women, they don't have, or at least I want to say prior to 2018, they didn't have or didn't really speak about other Black women hairstylists knowing how to do their hair. It was usually white hairstylists, and the white hairstylists rather didn't want to do their hair or experimented on their hair. If you're going to a cosmetology school and you're specifically trying to be a hairstylist, you should know all the different types of hair.
Oh, you're literally bags. Like, you should know how to do my hair just so I could teach you how to do your hair. But I think that a lot of times, so cosmetology school teaches you the basics, right? There's literally one chapter in the Millennium textbook, chapter 18, that talks about natural hair care. It covers braids, twists, locks. Um, doesn't really talk about wash and go specifically. Um, but yeah, it doesn't really like get deep. I had to have a teacher. She's a hairstylist. She came in. She's a black woman. She came in and she taught like the curly hair curriculum because all the teachers are white. What they were going to tell us about curly hair? They don't. They don't primarily work with curly hair. These people were they do balayage, they do blonding, they were straightening hair, doing blowouts. What can you tell me about curls if you don't style curls or you're not or you don't have these curls yourself? You understand what I'm saying? So I really do think there's a lack of that in school. Um, and I wish that there was more of it talked about in cosmetology school. I know some other schools like Aveda are starting to adopt things, but they adopting the wrong stuff. So they're trying to tell people about like this type 4. Like I understand they're trying to be like relatable and like probably make it seem like, um they're trying to like fill the gap, but then they're filling the gap with misinformation. So not no shade that well, that is shade of it, and I don't really care. I didn't go to a Veda school, so I don't value me anyways. But yeah, so there's a gap in there for sure. And there's definitely some language and some wording in the books like overly curly. What the heck is overly curly? What is that? And like, and a lot of times when they were talk about like curly hair in the book, it would say something right after like relax, chemically relaxing it and like, straightening it. And I'm like, all right, that's the problem. Like y'all think that the hair is supposed to be straight and it's not. There's an age of women who don't want that, and that needs to be talked about. It's 2021. Let's get on the bandwagon. Everybody is not trying to straighten their hair. Some people want it. You know how I know? I talk to these women.
We want our curls. We don't want to straighten our hair all the time.
Right,
We
right.
want
Um,
variety.
there is definitely some gaps in school. A lot of people say like, "Oh, cosmetology school didn't teach you nothing about curly hair." Primarily, most likely they didn't. They taught you just the basics about hair, but that's when advanced education comes into play, right? People who become, colorists and the balayage and blonding, they do further their education to become the master at what they are. And that's exactly what I decided to do. I decided to take advanced education so that I can take the things that I was taught, the basics in school, apply it and apply it also with the advanced education so that I can call myself the curly hair specialist that I am.
This talk. I love it. So, what you're saying is, even though you go through basically cosmetology school and then you get license and you start working on your own patients, the education doesn't stop because what you learn in school obviously is not going to be always applied to life experiences, and also there isn't a lot of information on, like you said, certain chapters.
That's
So
correct.
if you're trying to be a curly hair specialist, it doesn't stop at school. Where
It does
can
not. It does not.
where can more people find, like, if they're already, like, let's say someone already got out of cosmetology school, they're licensed, where can they find more information about being a curly hair specialist?
Oh man, it's a lot of curly hair education out there. Specifically, the one that I oh my goodness, someone else that I did education with. Her company is called Third Eye Education. She's a stylist. Her name is Christy Ramos. She's out of Columbia, South Carolina, I want to say. I got a stylist friend that's in Ottawa, Canada. She has some curly education. There's a lot of stylists out there that are actually giving out some curly education to help better equipped stylists. They can go to cuttingkinky.com. They can go to Third Eye Education. What is Paula's program called? Curls Understood Academy. So it's out there. It's definitely out there. You just gotta know who you got to know who to talk to, pretty much. Because if I wasn't connected to people, I wouldn't know this stuff. So, or you can hit me up and ask me, and I can connect you.
Is there anything that you wish you knew before that you know now coming into being a curly hair specialist?
Everything that I need to know. I feel like life experiences, being a black woman, being of the black race. I life has been a teacher. And then in conjunction with cosmetology school, and then when I'm learning now, because I'm always learning, like I'm always in the community, I'm always watching videos, cutting, styling, things of that nature. Um, and I'm also teaching myself every single time, like I'm doing a client. Like my clients are like, "Oh, my wash and goes don't look so good," and I'm like, "That's okay." I'm like, because this is your first time. Same thing. Say for instance, somebody come here, my styling has gotten a lot better, and this is my first time with them. Most times, I should say most times, but sometimes the first time you see me, the styling may not be as good as it was the second time, because the second time I know your hair better, you're taking better care of your hair, so the experience is going to change. So no, I don't think there's really anything that I wish I would have known. Sometimes I wish I had gotten to this earlier, because there was a point in time where it crossed my mind to become a hairstylist because of my family. My mom was a cosmetologist, and my aunt is literally, it's like my lineage, I guess you could say. Um, but things happen when they're supposed to, so it is what it
Oh, yes. She said it's her lineage, y'all. Sometimes it's right there, but we can't see it.
is. Yeah.
Is there any advice you would like to give to a black girl or a brown girl coming into being a curly hair specialist about this field?
Don't be afraid to ask for help. I know a lot of times we can, like I said, social media is big. That is how we network. Clubhouse, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of that. Not so much Facebook, but don't be afraid to ask for help. Like I've had young ladies reach out to me on Twitter, like, "Oh my God, I'm in cosmetology school. My school is like mainly white. I feel like they don't know what I'm talking about, blah blah blah." And so it makes me feel good that they're asking me about something, because I too was somebody in school a little afraid to reach out, because um sometimes I feel like people think that all hairstylists are in competition, but that's not the case. A lot of us collaborate. Like I just did like a couple webinars with two of my hairstylist friends. We collaborated. We could have did our own separate thing, but we knew that together we were stronger, and we could give people more of what they want by coming together and working on a project together, right? So I just want to tell somebody, don't be afraid to reach out for help or would like to network and connect with somebody. I had a young lady I just spoke to, and she was like, "Oh my God, you're so laid back, you're so cool. Like, sometimes hairstyles can be a little snarky." I'm like, "Nah, I'm not like that. Like, we all need help. We all trying to get to where we're trying to get, and we all trying to help the masses. So why not help each other?" So ask for help, ask for help, ask for help, ask for help.
I can say personally, usually I don't ask for help on like anything and I just try to do it by myself. But then sometimes like, you when you're going that route and it's something that you really need help with, you stumble and fall. And that's when you ask for help. But if you ask for help sooner, you won't have to stumble and fall. You can get what you want to get done without having to go through something alone. So I think although I'm not a curly hair stylist, I think that would be really helpful for those, especially if you're just starting out and you're trying to figure out the different hair types, the different patterns, the different products, and things like that. So collaborating and asking for help really sounds good in that situation
Yes.
because look, I might come to y'all for a little help, and if you say, "Oh, Cheyenne, I don't know," well, we won't be looking at each other like we both don't know. So help me, help you, help me, help you, and you help me. Okay,
Absolutely.
to wrap up this interview, everything in a little tiny cute bow. I call this Shy's 3. How would you describe your career experience in 3 words?
Um, Fulfilling, fun, Love.
Oh, why those three?
Yeah, I had a day last week. I'm about to start tearing up thinking about it. It was just so amazing just watching like two of my clients. They were friends. They didn't know they back like you put booked the appointments back to back. And so my first client was so happy. She was like, "Oh my gosh, she's coming in!" Like, "Oh my god, I gotta see her, I gotta see her." So when I got done with my first client, she was so in love with her hair. She was talking to her, and they were just like kikiing. They was taking selfies and taking videos and doing other stuff. And like they left the salon together and made a day out of it. They just felt so good because they looked so good, right? And it really like touched me. Like I was crying. I was like, "Oh my god, this is exactly why I do what I do because I want this is how I want people to feel about themselves. You know, we have a lot of we've been conditioned in a certain way to think about our hair, think about ourselves, think about our skin, think about ourselves as women. And I want when somebody comes to the salon or even just experience an appointment with me, that they feel free from all of that and that they feel good and that they can conquer the world. Like, you know, they ready to put a lip gloss on and you girl, I just it made me happy. It made me feel good. It made me want to cry. I really love what I do.
Well, I want to say thank you to Miss Shakera for joining me today. I hope you all learned a little bit of something about being a curly hair specialist. And also, please, if you're interested in this career, we really need you, especially in the entertainment industry.
Yes.
We need you.
Yes.
Get out there, make those
Yes.
connections, go to cosmetology school. Although it sounds easy said than done, please, we need you out there. We need locks specialists. We need everyone out there. Please.
For sure.
Please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and definitely follow us on social media. Thank you.